Every 10 minutes, an older adult in the US suffers a stroke. What if one of the most trusted vitamins in your cabinet is quietly making that more likely? And what if that risk isn't from junk food or bad habits, but from the pills you take every morning, thinking they're helping? Hi, I'm Dr. Nana, and in this episode of Senior Health Boost, we're pulling back the curtain on a silent threat hiding in plain sight: your supplement drawer. Recent studies are sounding the alarm. One vitamin still recommended to millions of seniors can raise stroke risk by up to 347% when taken in the wrong form or dose. And yet, 99% of older adults have no idea. The danger? It's not always about poor diet or family history. It's about vitamin overload from well-meaning pills that thicken your blood, disrupt circulation, raise homocysteine levels, and quietly damage your brain's most fragile vessels. These changes don't take months or years. They can start altering your blood chemistry within hours. That's why stroke specialists and neurologists are now urging adults over 60 to rethink their supplement routine, especially when early signs begin to appear. Disenecidine, fatigue, and Fuchsia-Brie Vigion. Too often, we dismiss these as normal aging. But what if they're really early warnings that blood flow to your brain is already under attack? Now here's the most shocking part. These aren't rare or experimental vitamins. They're sitting in your daily multivitamin. They're marketed as brain boosters, heart helpers, even stroke recovery aids without any warning of long-term consequences. But that changes today, because I'm about to walk you through the top 6 vitamins that may quietly raise your stroke risk, ranked from least to most dangerous. And number 1. It's still promoted as essential for seniors, even though recent studies show it may increase clotting risk more than high blood pressure itself. As always, everything I share today is backed by real clinical research, with full references linked below in the description. Because at Senior Health Boost, we believe in transparency and empowering you to make informed decisions. But before we dive into this critical list, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment. What supplements are you currently taking each morning? Our team reads and responds to every message with guidance, so if you're unsure about what's safe, this is the place to ask. Alright, let's get into it. Number 6. Synthetic vitamin E, listed as D-alpha tocopherol. This is one of the biggest misconceptions in senior nutrition. For years, we've heard that vitamin E is good for heart health, brain support, and skin repair. And that's true, but only in its natural form. The synthetic version, unfortunately still found in most multivitamins for seniors, is a different story. When taken at high doses, D-alpha tocopherol can actually increase your risk of brain bleeds and clotting imbalances. Let me break it down. Natural vitamin E is labeled as D-alpha tocopherol and exists alongside a full family of antioxidant compounds called tocopherols and tocotrienols. These natural forms work together to reduce inflammation and protect your blood vessels. But the synthetic form, D-alpha tocopherol, is a man-made imitation, and your body doesn't recognize or process it the same way. Even worse, this synthetic E can block the absorption of the more beneficial natural forms, especially gamma tocopherol, which is essential for fighting inflammation and supporting healthy circulation. So what happens when synthetic E takes over? It creates an imbalance in your bloodstream, suppressing naturally compounds that keep your arteries flexible and your clotting under control. Instead of reducing stroke risk, synthetic E may actually increase the chances of dangerous clot formation and arterial stiffening. And it gets riskier if you're already taking medications like aspirin, warfarin, cold pressure, or cholesterol meds. For younger adults, a little blood thinning might not matter. But for seniors, especially those already managing vascular conditions, this can tip the balance towards stroke risk. And the worst part, you probably never knew to check. Most supplement labels just say vitamin E without clarifying the form. That's why it's so important to read carefully and choose only D-alpha tocopherol from natural sources. We're just getting started. In the last segment, we expose the hidden dangers of synthetic vitamin E, the version lurking in so many multivitamins that can quietly disrupt blood chemistry, especially in seniors. But the real concern? It's not just theoretical. The research is alarming. A comprehensive meta-analysis published in the British Medical Journal found that vitamin E supplementation increased the risk of hemorrhagic stroke by 22%. That's not a mild correlation, that's a meaningful increase in risk. For adults over 65, where blood vessels naturally become more fragile with age, that number could be even higher. And the worst part, most people never see it coming. The early signs of this kind of internal damage can be easy to ignore or mistake for something else entirely. You might experience unexplained bruises that take too long to fade, and dizziness when standing, persistent blurry vision, noticeables that seem minor but last longer than they should. Sometimes there's no warning at all. Some seniors have reported a sudden sharp headache like a bolt out of nowhere, followed by blacking out. No build-up, no time to prepare. That's why synthetic vitamin E is so dangerous. It builds up gradually and then flips from helpful to harmful almost overnight. And here's the kicker. This danger becomes far worse when paired with dehydration, high blood pressure, or certain medications. It's the perfect storm for a senior's already delicate vascular system. So, what should you do? Start with the label. If your supplement says DL-alpha tocopherol, that's the synthetic form. Stop taking it. Instead, look for vitamin E labeled as D-alpha tocopherol, that's the natural version. Even better, choose a formulation that includes mixed tocopherols like gamma and delta, which help support full spectrum, brain and cardiovascular health. Your brain doesn't just need one form of E, it needs the whole team working together. But the safest and most effective way to get your vitamin E, real food. Just 1 ounce of sunflower seeds provides over 7 milligrams of natural vitamin E plus a range of other nutrients your body knows how to absorb and use. Almonds, hazelnuts, spinach, and avocados are also great choices. They contain vitamin E in its natural context, surrounded by antioxidants, fiber, and healthy fats. If you're currently on blood thinners or have been prescribed medication for blood pressure or cholesterol, always consult your doctor before adjusting supplements. But don't wait until symptoms show up. Protecting your brain's microvessels, the most fragile in your entire body, means eliminating silent threats before they strike. And unfortunately, synthetic vitamin E is one of them. Now that we've peeled back the layers on that danger, let's move on to something that seems even more innocent. Vitamin number 5, vitamin A specifically, the synthetic forms like retinol palmitate or retinol acetate, which are frequently found in multivitamins and vision support formulas targeted at older adults. Most seniors don't think twice about vitamin A after all. Isn't it good for your eyes, your skin, your immune system? Yes, but only in the right form and the right amount. The problem lies with preformed vitamin A, the synthetic version that your body stores in the liver. Unlike beta-carotene from carrots and other plant foods, which your body regulates and converts as needed, this synthetic A is absorbed in full, whether you need it or not. Over time, it accumulates. And once it crosses a certain threshold, your liver can't flush it out easily. This buildup can quietly turn toxic, and the brain is especially vulnerable. You see, excess vitamin A starts to damage the linings of blood vessels, particularly in the brain's capillaries, which are already narrow and sensitive. The result? Microvascular constriction, increased oxidative stress, elevated intracranial pressure. A 2014 study published in the journal Stroke found that individuals with elevated serum retinol levels, a marker of excess vitamin A, had a significantly higher risk of ischemic stroke. And that's just the beginning. Other clinical studies link long-term high doses of vitamin A with symptoms like double vision, ossiferant nosebleeds, persistent headache, and even seizure. All of these can be signs of intracranial hypertension or elevated pressure inside the skull, a condition that disrupts the brain's ability to regulate blood flow and fluid balance. What makes this especially dangerous for seniors is that, with age, your liver becomes less efficient at processing and excreting excess fat-soluble vitamins like A. That means even modest daily doses can accumulate far more rapidly than in younger people. And it's easy to exceed safe limits without knowing it. If you're eating liver regularly, taking cod liver oil, using fortified cereals or milks, taking a multivitamin and a separate vision formula, you may be getting double or triple the recommended amount every single day. So how can you protect yourself? Here's the action plan from me, Dr. Nana. 1. Check your labels. If your supplement lists retinol palmitate, retinol acetate, or simply vitamin A without specifying beta-carotene, be cautious. Unless prescribed for a medical deficiency, it's best to avoid synthetic. Preformed A. 2. Switch to whole food sources. Choose beta-carotene-rich foods like okra, sweet potatoes, butter, and squash. Spinacoli. Body is smart. It will convert only the amount of beta-carotene it needs into active vitamin A and safely discard the rest. 3. Choose safer supplements. If you're taking vitamin A for eye support, consider switching to blends that include lutein, zeaxanthin, and beta-carotene, nutrients that support vision without disrupting blood vessels or liver function. This is especially important if you've ever experienced migraines, dizziness, or unexplained fatigue. These symptoms could be early signals that your body's vitamin A levels are too high and your brain's pressure balance is off. Remember, more isn't always better. Especially for seniors, too much of a good vitamin can quietly become toxic and put you at serious risk for stroke or long-term neurological damage. So while vitamin A is vital in the right form, it must be handled with care. Now that we've tackled two of the most common vitamins that quietly raise stroke risk, get ready because vitamin number 4 is often found in natural energy drinks and B-complex formulas. But it can raise homocysteine, damage arterial linings, and compromise circulation in ways that most seniors never suspect. Stick around. You don't want to miss this next one. As we just uncovered, synthetic vitamin A can quietly build up in your body, damage the brain's delicate blood vessels, and lead to serious neurological issues. And yet, most seniors have no idea their eye support pill could be the real threat to their vision and circulation. Now, let's move on to vitamin number 4, a supplement that's been sitting on senior shelves for decades, marketed as a brain booster. But in reality, it may be doing just the opposite. Number 4. Ginkgo biloba extract, especially in high doses or synthetic forms. This one might come as a shock. Ginkgo biloba has long been advertised as a natural way to enhance memory, sharpen mental clarity, and even prevent cognitive decline. It's often found in senior brain health supplements and natural nootropic blends. But here's the truth that rarely gets mentioned. In excessive doses, or when paired with common medications, ginkgo can actually raise your risk of brain bleeds and strokes. Let's break it down. Ginkgo contains compounds called ginkolide and bilobalide. These act as blood thinners and vasodilators, meaning they open up your blood vessels and reduce clotting. Sounds good, right? In theory, yes. But when taken in high doses, or alongside medications like aspirin, warfarin, or even over-the-counter drugs like ibuprofen, these effects become too strong, especially for seniors. They increase the risk of uncontrolled bleeding, especially inside the brain where fragile capillaries are already at greater risk of rupture with age. A major 2018 study published in Neurology found that seniors over 60 who took high-dose ginkgo supplements had a 38% higher risk of hemorrhagic stroke. That's not a small number. That's the kind of risk that makes neurologists pause. Even more alarming, a case report in the Journal of Geriatric Pharmacotherapy documented a senior who suffered a spontaneous brain hemorrhage after combining daily ginkgo with low-dose aspirin, a routine that millions of older adults follow every day, thinking they're protecting their brain. But the issue isn't just the ginkgo itself, it's the dosage, purity, and formulation. Many over-the-counter ginkgo biloba products don't contain standardized ingredients. Some are spiked with synthetic additives to boost perceived potency. Others contain inconsistent levels of ginkgolides, meaning you have no idea what dose you're really taking or how it will interact with your other medications. That unpredictability makes ginkgo especially dangerous for seniors. The symptoms of a ginkgo-related complication can appear fast and without much warning. You might suddenly feel lightheaded, confolds in your speech, or feel a sharp, unexpected headache. These aren't just side effects. These can be the early signs of a life-threatening brain bleed. So what's the safe path forward? As Dr. Nana, here's my advice. 1. If you're taking ginkgo, stop immediately and check the label. If it doesn't clearly state that it's standardized to 24% flavone glycosides and 6% terpene lactones, it's not a reliable or safe formula. 2. Talk to your healthcare provider, especially if you're on any blood thinners, blood pressure meds, or anti-inflammatories. Ginkgo isn't harmless, and it's not right for everyone. 3. Consider safer alternatives. If your goal is better memory and mental clarity, options like acetylcholine CDP cholinobacapamani area low-dose omega-3 may offer support without the same bleeding risk. And here's a bonus insight that most supplement ads never tell you. The memory centers of your brain, like the hippocampus, don't just rely on blood thinning. They thrive on consistent oxygen delivery. So if you want a real, safer brain boost, focus on improving circulation naturally, get better sleep, practice deep breathing, add nitric oxide-rich foods like beets, arugula, and spinach to your diet. These natural habits can improve oxygen delivery to the brain more safely than risky herbal shortcuts. Now that we've exposed the hidden risks of synthetic E, preformed A, and ginkgo, it's time for another common supplement, one that's found in nearly every multivitamin and energy drink on the market. and most seniors think it's completely harmless. Vitamin number 3, vitamin B6 pyridoxine in excessive doses. Vitamin B6 has built a reputation as a safe and beneficial nutrient. It's often marketed for nerve health, brain support, and boosting metabolism. You'll find it in almost every daily multivitamin, energy product, and senior-specific blend. But here's what 99% of older adults don't know. High-dose B6, especially when taken over long periods, can actually be neurotoxic, damaging your nerves and increasing your stroke risk without clear warning. Here's why. B6 plays a vital role in neurotransmitter production, amino acid metabolism, and supporting mood and energy levels, but when consumed in doses above 100 milligrams per day, especially from supplements, it can accumulate in your system, even though it's water-soluble. And that's where it becomes a problem. As you age, your liver becomes less efficient at processing excess water-soluble vitamins. What used to be flushed out easily may now linger longer in your bloodstream, slowly causing nerve damage, of vascular tone disruption, increased oxidative stress, and artery walls over time. This can lead to numbness, tingling, burning sensations in your feet and hands, and even reduce coordination, symptoms that are often mistaken for age-related neuropathy or diabetes complications. Multiple studies have confirmed that chronic high-dose B6 is toxic to the nervous system, especially when combined with other stressors like medication side effects or pre-existing vascular conditions. For seniors already vulnerable to these issues, that's a dangerous combination. So what should you do? Check your supplement labels. If your multivitamin or energy booster contains more than 50 milligrams of B6, it may be too much. Be aware of stacking. Many seniors take multiple supplements that all contain B6. When added together, the total daily intake can skyrocket without you realizing it. Aim for moderation. The recommended daily allowance for adults over 50 is just 1.5–1.7 mg. In therapeutic cases, your doctor may recommend more, but megadosing without supervision is never safe. If you're using B6 to support energy or nerve health, you may want to explore Balance B complex vitamins in lower doses, or better yet, get your B6 from foods like chickpeas, bananas. Famed cereals. Food-based sources come with additional nutrients and are less likely to overwhelm your system. Up next, vitamin number 2, a supplement that's marketed as a heart helper, but new research shows it may actually disrupt nitric oxide balance, raise blood pressure, and increase stroke risk when taken in the wrong form. Stay with us because this next one is hiding in many healthy products. In the last section, we uncovered the surprising truth about vitamin B6, that too much of this harmless nutrient could quietly damage your nerves and increase your risk of stroke. But there's more. The vascular link may be even more alarming than the nerve damage itself. A 2017 study published in Clinical Nutrition tracked over 5,000 seniors and found something deeply concerning. Seniors who were regularly taking high doses of B6 were nearly twice as likely to develop sensory neuropathy, a condition that causes tingling, numbness, and loss of balance. But what researchers discovered next was even more shocking. Studies in the journal Stroke revealed that long-term B6 use, especially when combined with other B vitamins, can increase homocysteine levels in some people. That's right. The very vitamin that's supposed to protect your heart may do the opposite in certain individuals. Why is that such a big deal? Homocysteine is a naturally occurring amino acid, but when levels rise to high, it inflames your arteries, weakens blood vessel walls, and increases the chance of ischemic stroke, the kind caused by blocked blood flow to the brain. The scariest part, you might not feel it coming. Elevated homocysteine doesn't hurt. It doesn't cause obvious symptoms until something serious happens. You might notice a dizzy spell when standing up, tingling or numbness in your legs or feet, a sudden tremor or fatigue that won't go away, but all of these are often dismissed as normal aging when they may be your body's quiet cry for help. So what's driving the overdose? B6 isn't just in your multivitamin. It's hiding in fortified cereals, energy tonics, nerve supplements, and even some protein powders. Add them all up, and you could easily be getting 200 to 300 milligrams a day, which is 3 to 4 times the upper safe limit. And for seniors, that's especially dangerous. Your body can't process high levels of B6 like it used to. What doesn't get used may linger in your system, silently doing damage. Here's what you can do. 1. Check all your supplements. Add up the total B6 across every label: multivitamins, energy drinks, memory pills, nerve formulas. If you're consistently above 50 to 100 milligrams per day, you could be at risk. 2. Get tested. Ask your doctor for a homocysteine blood test. It's simple, inexpensive, and can reveal early warning signs that your vascular system is under stress. 3. Cut back if needed. If your levels are high, reduce or eliminate excess B6, especially time-release versions. These formulas stay in your system longer and may build up quietly over time. 4. Support your body with food-based sources. Instead of relying on pills, get B6 from chickpeas, salmon, bananas, and fortified oats. These offer a safer, balanced intake with cofactors your body understands. 5. Boost folate and B12 instead. Leafy greens, eggs, and whole grains help bring homocysteine down without the risks tied to excess B6. Now, get ready because vitamin number 2 may shock you even more. It's found in almost every senior multivitamin. It's sold as a heart helper, an antioxidant, and a brain protector. But in reality, it could be silently raising your stroke risk, especially if you're over 65. Number 2. Synthetic vitamin E alpha tocopherol DL alpha form. Most seniors have been told that vitamin E is good for the heart, that it helps prevent aging, sharpens brain function, and protects your skin. But here's what they don't tell you. The synthetic form of vitamin E commonly found in over-the-counter multivitamins is not only less effective, it may raise your stroke risk dramatically, especially the hemorrhagic stroke, the most deadly type. And the scariest part, nearly every senior multivitamin contains this synthetic form, often labeled DL alpha tocopherol acetate without any warning on the label. Let's get something clear. Vitamin E isn't just one nutrient. It's actually a family of 8 different compounds, 4 tocopherols and 4 tocotrienols. But most supplements only include the synthetic version of alpha tocopherol. Why is that a problem? Because synthetic alpha tocopherol doesn't just fail to deliver the full benefits, it actually displaces other more protective forms of vitamin E from your body. This creates a biochemical imbalance that thins your blood, disrupts clotting, and leaves you vulnerable to internal bleeding, especially in your brain. In the massive B6 study, researchers followed over 29,000 men who supplemented with synthetic vitamin E. The result? A 22% increase in hemorrhagic stroke risk. Another major study published in JAMA found that seniors taking more than 400 IU of vitamin E daily had a higher risk of death from all causes, primarily due to bleeding complications. And this is where it gets really dangerous, especially for older adults. Why? Because many seniors are already on aspirin, blood thinners, or medications for high blood pressure. When you add synthetic vitamin E to the mix, it can create a perfect storm. Thinner blood, fragile blood vessel sand, reduced clotting response. This combination is a ticking time bomb for hemorrhagic stroke. Symptoms can come on suddenly: a crushing headache, loss of vision, slurred speech, weans on one side of the body, or confusion that appears out of nowhere. But by the time these signs show up, it may already be too late, because the bleeding has begun and you may not even realize vitamin E played a role. So what should you do? As Dr. Nana, here's my recommendation. 1. Avoid synthetic vitamin E. If the label says DL alpha tocopherol or acetate, don't take it. Choose natural forms labeled as D alpha tocopherol, and ideally with mixed tocopherols for full spectrum antioxidant protection. 2. Look for food-based sources instead. As sunflower seed Monciscovation foods provide vitamin E in its natural form along with fiber, healthy fats, and other cofactors that reduce stroke risk instead of increasing it. 3. Avoid megadoses. If your supplement provides more than 200 IU per day, especially without a doctor's supervision, consider cutting back. More is not better, especially with fat-soluble vitamins like E.4. Be extra cautious if you're on blood thinners. The risk of hemorrhage increases sharply when synthetic vitamin E is combined with anticoagulants. Talk to your doctor. If you're taking both, you deserve to know the truth about what's in your supplements. The packaging may say heart health, but the ingredients could tell a very different story. Coming up next is vitamin number 1, perhaps the most unexpected of all. It's marketed as a daily essential, but studies now show it may raise your stroke risk more than high blood pressure itself. And yes, it's still being promoted to millions of seniors every year. Stay tuned. This is the one you can't afford to miss. Most seniors have no idea they're taking synthetic vitamin E every day. The label doesn't always make it obvious. If it says DL alpha tocopherol, that's the synthetic form, the one linked to higher stroke risk. What you want instead is D alpha tocopherol, the natural version, ideally combined with mixed tocopherols and tocotrienols for full-spectrum antioxidant protection. And dosage matters. Unless specifically advised by your doctor, keep it under 150 IU per day. More isn't better when it comes to fat-soluble vitamins, especially those that affect clotting. If you're taking aspirin, warfarin, or any other blood-thinning medication, the risk increases dramatically. In that case, skip high-dose supplements altogether and stick with food sources instead. Sunflower seeds, almonds, spinach, and avocado deliver vitamin E in its safest, most absorbable form balanced with other nutrients your body naturally knows how to use. Now, we've reached the final item on our list, the most shocking one of all. Vitamin number 1. Vitamin B12 injections, cyanocobalamin in high doses. This one may surprise you. Vitamin B12 is widely considered a must-have nutrient for brain function, nerve repair, and energy in older adults. And in many cases, that's absolutely true. If you're B12 deficient, supplementation is essential. But here's the terrifying twist most seniors never hear. The most common form of injectable B12, cyanocobalamin, can become dangerous in high or frequent doses. In fact, some neurologists now warn it may be contributing to a spike in microstroke, escavative decline, blood clots, and even sudden cardiovascular events in older adults. Let's break it down. Cyanocobalamin is the cheapest and most commonly prescribed form of B12. It's widely used in injections and found in thousands of over-the-counter multivitamins. But here's the catch. It's not naturally found in the human body. Before your body can use it, your liver has to convert it into methylcobalamin or adenosicobalamin, the bioactive forms. And in doing so, it releases a small amount of cyanide as a byproduct. Normally, the body detoxifies this without issue. But in seniors, especially those with reduced kidney or liver function, this detox process slows dramatically. The result? A toxic buildup of cyanide derivatives and oxidative stress that can compromise blood flow to the brain. In a 2020 study published in Stroke, researchers found that seniors with elevated B12 levels, particularly those receiving frequent cyanocobalamin injections, had a 3.5 times higher risk of ischemic stroke, especially when paired with high folic acid intake. That's because the combination thickens the blood, raises homocysteine, and damages the endothelium, the inner lining of blood vessels. Over time, this reduces the brain's oxygen supply and makes clotting more likely. And what are the symptoms? Many seniors begin experiencing warning signs but don't realize the connection. Sudden confusion, slurred speech, facial drooping, vision change, weans or tingling on one side of the body, or dizziness that appears within hours or days of a B12 shot. When blood becomes too thick or oxygen flow is impaired, it takes only a small clot to trigger a microstroke or worse, a full ischemic stroke. Now let's be clear. B12 deficiency is real and serious. If you have it, it needs to be treated without question. But the treatment must be smart. The safer, more effective alternative. Methylcobalamin. It's the active form of B12 your brain already knows how to use. It doesn't release cyanide, doesn't require complicated conversion, and is far gentler on the liver and kidneys. It's more expensive but infinitely safer, especially for long-term use. Also, beware of loading doses and mega-strength pills over 1000 mg. Unless your doctor has confirmed a deficiency through a blood test, that kind of dosage may be unnecessary and risky. For most healthy seniors, a maintenance dose of 250 to 500 mg of methylcobalamin, 2 to 3 times per week, is more than enough. If you've been receiving regular B12 injections and also deal with high blood pressure, memory problems, blood clot risk, or a history of stroke, it's time to have your homocysteine levels checked. Elevated levels are a warning sign that your B12 isn't being processed properly and that it may be contributing to hidden inflammation or vascular damage. So let's bring it all together. Final takeaway from Dr. Nana: just because a vitamin is popular, doesn't mean it's safe. Especially after 60, many stroke risks in older adults don't come from deficiencies. They come from excess, the wrong form, the wrong dose, or the wrong combination of nutrients. So what's the first step? Start with awareness. Read your supplement labels. Check your total daily dosages. Talk with your doctor not just about what to take, but what to stop. Then take action. Prioritize whole foods over isolated pills. Focus on natural forms of vitamins when possible. And most importantly, treat your supplement routine with the same respect you give to medications. If this video opened your eyes or gave you a moment of pause, let us know in the comments. Which of these 6 vitamins are you currently taking? Are you reconsidering any of them? Have you experienced any symptoms you didn't realize could be connected? We read every comment and respond with thoughtful guidance. Because here at Senior Health Boost, we believe seniors deserve more than generic advice. You deserve real answers, based on science and compassion. And if you found this helpful, here's how you can keep this journey going. Like, subscribe, share. If you care about your long-term brain and heart health, if you want to age with clarity, strength, and confidence, then please tap the like button, subscribe to Senior Health Boost, turn on notifications, and share this video with someone you love, because your decisions today could protect your health for years to come. And together, we can help thousands of other seniors do the same. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay informed, and stay empowered. We'll see you in the next video on Senior Health Boost, where we expose the 7 supplement stacks quietly making seniors sick. Until then, take care of your brain, your heart, and your health, one smart choice at a time.